Cosmic Mind UV, Sacred Space with Buddha E. What you got for us today, Buddha E? What you got for us, E?
Okay, bro. Uh, oh no, I'm gonna go past it though. Yeah, respect, bro. Peace, brother. Everything's well, man. This is how we do, one and the two. As you see on the horn, people come through. To speak on what Mama do. Uh, our whole connection, the line. Some of us might not know about that. So, mental, physical, and spiritual. There's a there's a new identity in the pyramid midsection. So, give thanks to the ancestors. They helped us get this next knowing, the next notion that's already been known. They call it the Garden of Eden. So when we're eating, the pyramid definitely has a new portal for those who are ready to have an intertwined, inner mind level, galactic, uh, universal, not just platform. Uh, you're finding out that when we add in additives in our body, there's a point to where it's collective or it's not. When the benefits work for you, we got solid, liquid, and gas. So when we break food down, it's like to solidify, liquidate, and then gas it out. So as we are learning more, that's where our portals are going to right now. And how do we have intermediate moments where we don't eat, don't drink, or don't even have the collective gas as issues? Because usually we do find gas can become issues in the body. So collectively, where you'd be like, wow, I don't even want to smell myself. And these are the points of what gaseous, and gases is, to a point. You can find out toxin is being related to you now. Might be even more than you used to. So to identify it, just like how the owl in the background, you can wise up. You just have to wise up to what's good, you know, what's not so good, or what's even in the in between. You might have to use things like some people say not to eat garlic. You might have to use this to parallel foods that you really don't tolerate, like kale or something like that. So sometimes you'll have a bridge maker with, and even in that, as most people say, kale is a GMO food, just as like broccoli. Uh, how do you find yourself in GMO based foods? Because if this out here, majority of your people are cooking it or you're eating it, look for the moderation to bridge yourself. Then, when you're able to explore further out, because there is what we call superfood. And I wouldn't want to challenge everybody at the beginning and be like, hey, you got to eat different. Like, how? You got to just start. Start where? And you're like, just start. Freaking, how am I going to do that? So, when you go to the grocery store, I'm getting ready to go to right now. So I'm going to look at some stuff as we're riding through. Collectively, that can help you. You know what I mean? Because if you say, oh, it's about pyramid building, and you're not really doing the pyramid build to yourself, uh, your body breaks down faster than you even know. So older people, you're not really older. You just want to accept that word, and it's also like a crippling word too. When the person be like, "I'm older than you," that's more like my seniority rule. And you be like, well, what do I do after that? I can't even. I gotta get somebody else older than. Bring the older person in the room, and you're like, "This is the elder, and you are the older. There's a difference here." And so, not to be competitive or competitive, or say competitive. Put those two words together. Hey, squirrel. Squirrel moving around you'll find out that nature also is a part of you. That's another part of the building of the pyramid, because animals, are in nature. So when you're like animal becomes, we do unnatural things. That's why you got to realize normal. This word, more people really think that word exists for them to speak on. To say that you're doing normal things, you're not. Normal is the actual being. His name is Normal. You can always look it up. But this is a idea of getting people to act normal. It's a form of an act, it's not real. You're becoming more of an artificial person, So you want to actually get food that's not going to mess you up. Even if you got to go to Food Line, sometimes you might have to go to the closest store. I ain't gonna say convenience store like 7-Eleven. You find 7-Eleven. Peace. Good. She's over there getting stuff in her and that, there it is. The line is there. She actually put stuff in the store of hers. We're doing the same thing when you're working in your store. It's a point of your store. How do you have the pyramid built? So just like Norm created a normal way of thinking so that everyone will quote unquote act normal. So like when you're walking in the room and they'll do quote unquote normal things, it's like it's a part of what the agreements, but we might not know what that is. So my whole thought is be you. Now, of course, whatever you is, you'll start to see. And that's also another effect. Like, just because you're being you don't mean you can be you everywhere. You can still be you everywhere, because you are everywhere. Now, I'm just saying how you're using the you in everywhere. Be reasonable. Be yourself and reasonable at all times. Navigate ninja with his own special techniques. What we're gonna do is we're gonna walk in the store, give you an example, because it's really about like survival strategy. You out here, you gotta get something to eat. I'm like, man, I need to get something quick. Good. Peace. I'm feeling that heat. So you'll feel mode that when you're coming over here on this side of the section. Look at your fruit. You always know the 4 numbers. A lot of the 4 numbers on a lot, but not on everything. As you see, there's a 3. Of course, we can look down here. Mangoes. They got like they got numbers on them too. Let's see what they got on this one. This one got, yeah, that's a 4. Sometimes they actually do have some mangoes that come from Honduras or different areas. They got papayas. They got a 3 on them. So you just gotta probe it out for what you're looking at. Pineapple. Coconut water. If you're going to certain things that I'm going to eat, oh shoot, my bad, I didn't mean to do that. If you're going to eat, and you say, well, I don't have time to eat, well, I'm going to get some liquid. There's always the coconut water in here. Some people are into the yogurts. I'm not a yogurt person. They do have yogurt selective here as well. Then, of course, when it comes down to the kombucha, you want to cleanse your stomach, get the stuff out. I'm usually feeling like I gotta cleanse my stomach early, so I'm a citric person. I don't see too much of that in here, but we want to. But yeah, I would, I would. I would take celery, the ginger, not from here, but the organic depot. They have some ginger from there, cilantro, celery. Break that down, make it a juice. Add your water to it. You start to feel at a point where it's cleansing your stomach. You always use salt, pink Himalayan salt. Um, and then those additives that also could be a crystal effect. Because sometimes we think that we're hungry, and you're really not. And you want to break down certain things of the hunger pains before you start going into further with that. You can also get into with sea moss, and that's of course not in here in the stores. What I would do is I'll grab some of these uh, smoothie mixes. As you see there, get the organic, and for $3. Or you go in a bigger good amount for family. So whether it's the mango berry, the berry and banana, or the wild berries, I'm not more of a cherry. Cherry is more of a conjecture, starting to make it like pudding. So you don't want to really use that. Just kind of stay away from that.
I was gonna say, how often should people detox, bro? And then how do they determine what detox they should be doing?
Okay, so when you're doing your detoxing, um, be mindful of that 2 to 3. Like there's Cascara Sagrada. We got Cascara Sagrada. It's like a #1 that you can go to. Burdock. Uh, look for Black Walnut. That's another one. Um, there's a few more out there. Valerian that can help cleanse too. At the same time, get your fertility up. Um, and I'm not saying just pick all of these and go to it. Look at it, find out how much it can be done that can be used. Like, but some of us, there's a 1 to 2 teaspoons at least to certain items, like let's say Cascara Sagrada. You can't go no more than 2 teaspoons of that. If you do, it's gonna mess up your liver. So it is about finding out how to help on a daily basis. That's not something you would use daily. So if it's like burdock, that'll be more helpful to use on a daily if you're going to use daily. I really don't recommend all those who do detoxing to constantly think about detoxing. You got to do something in your body that's making you detox anyway, like kale, or what is your consumption of eating. Usually it's leafy foods, so spinach, things of that nature on a constant. Now, what we just got to the Casara Sagrada, uh, that's a like a regimen for once every 3 months or once a month, or you don't want to do that on a regular. Like I said, it's gonna once you cleanse yourself out, also, because see, these heavy detoxifiers, getting rid of the metals, that's what you're looking for. That's why the Cascara Sagrada is there. That's not there for everyday use. Um, and so people will want to detox and then want to constantly detox. I mean, you're like, what are you using and what are you eating? And that's why even for myself, I can't recommend everybody to just do Cascara Sagrada and that's it. You have to actually find out what's your like other ways of figuring yourself out. It might be your blood type that you're into. Learning your blood type will help. finding out RNA and DNA foods that you eat. You know, you might be more of an RNA eater and didn't realize it. When you can eat more DNA food. DNA is basically your skin, uh, tones. We got melatonin food, we got serotonin food. So when it's amount of vegetables, fruits, the fruits is really your vitamins. Your vegetables is mainly to cleansify or detoxify yourself. So if you're like saying, I want to just regularly detox, that's just like saying, okay, well, I could eat celery every day. It's not going to mess you up. At the same time, it's astringent. It's basically like a stringy food. So it's going to actually clean your bowel system out. Same thing with like kale. Kale is a leafy food. So it's going to, mess around with your intestines and keep that healthy, keep it up. What you're really looking at is how much is your bowel system heavy when you're taking this, take a plop in the water. Now, of course, it ain't gonna matter if you're on the ground. If you taking a poop on the ground, it's still gonna be ground food, so you ain't gonna know whether it can float or not. Yet, because we have water, we can see there's a difference right now. And if we don't eat enough food that's going high enough to sit just in the water itself, we're actually hitting into the moments of solid dairy food, as we say, solid. So that's why it's important now to eat a lot of solid stuff, like let's say beans. A lot of people love the beans, but you know what it do it to you. You make you poop, you make you feel heavy, and those are the things we were growing up off of. Can't do it no more. You know what I'm saying? The red sauce. Can't do too much of that red sauce. If y'all doing it, at least cut it down. Can't say you're gonna cut it off, at least cut it down there. Just I would say look at a way that you're helping your family as you're helping yourself. Don't just look at it just, well, I gotta do it. I'm doing it because it's for me. You're actually doing it because it's for us. So it does make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Help the family out and getting, I just like to say the water. I'm right now grabbing water. If you're gonna get water, would you get it from Pennsylvania? Or would you get it that's coming from North Carolina? You know what I mean? This is the water, nature's promise. Now you can see it always pop up, but there's going to be a difference. Like you can go to another food line, you find out they got the same water. It's from Pennsylvania. You're like, what? Yeah, they're tricking us up on the water. So you gotta be mindful what water you putting in on you, and it's gonna be helpful. Just like what I said with the coconut water. You know what I mean? You're gonna be able to get the minerals needed out of the soil, and you're gonna find out they are going to be even either taking the stuff down or putting something in the purpose of it, or they'll keep it there. They just got to see how you're gonna flow with it. But once they see you also making the rating towards the food, they just end up seeing the difference too. And that's where we're like, all right, I gotta go to another store because y'all playing with me. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta find out. It's all about your traveling spots. Like, if you know where to travel, how to keep getting the right stuff to be good for you, keep getting it. But if it's not, don't get it because there ain't nothing else there. You might just be falling for an okie doke. And I get tricked up too. So you gotta realize too when you're like my brother said, looking for a detox. Don't go to everybody getting a detox because you might be messing yourself up. You want to actually work with something that's going to work with you. So that's just like saying in the 3 months, work on it in the 6 months because you might have to go from your stomach. And now that you use that system, right, come back from 3 to 6. Look for a 3 to 6. So Cascara Sagrada, grab that joint up, utilize that. Peace, sis, peace. Yeah. So you're gonna see the 3 to 6 month process. Don't get caught up going to MVP card. Don't get caught up by going too hard and getting the detox if you don't know what you're detoxing. Look at, is it your skin that you want to get detox for? Is it the stomach, the bowel system, you know, lymphatic? We call it lymphatic. Like my brother Yaki, he said, you're realizing you're not calling it what he said, the endocrine system. It's the lymphatic system. We've been using words that we don't know because it's based on the 7 glands.
Insert cash or pay another way.
Practice that for a second. When you're putting the 7 glands together, they're separated because of the colors. Apologize for the electronics right now. We're coming away from it right now, though. And you realize this, that you're phasing. You're phasing because that's what the electronics end up doing to you too. Like, man, I got away from this stuff. There's the electro foods that you want to get, right? I didn't see much in there. I thought I was going to see. I had to walk right back out. A lot of ambient energy in there. It's different as well. But yeah, looking for any numbers, off number sets, not the 4 numbers, because every number end up showing you where's it's through and see what we got in our area. We got an international market. I should have took you there and took that kind of journey. But you see in here, you're gonna get to a can, realize it's a can or it's glass, more orientated in the glass versus the can. And then there's the life cycle of how long it's been in there. Like, what is the lifespan? I know we say time is an expiration date. So once there's an expiration date, it really modifies what you're drinking. And then how often, my brother would say, if you notice that there's deliveries happening, you really want to go to a place where they always doing deliveries versus a place that hardly got any deliveries happening. And what I mean by the delivery is they always have the trucks dropping off stuff on for the deliveries. That is a place you want to go to. Why? Because that means it's fresh. So you get fresh stuff. So it ain't no mess up, ain't no mix. So yeah, make sure you are around the people that knows where the routes are for those who don't know. This is like the navigation in ourselves. We got to have navigators. If you are not one of those type of people, start learning it. We don't have a dictionary like we used to have. We don't have the yellow pages like we used to have. So now you got to become that. You got to get around your people and start saying, all right, as well, where's the farming at? Where's the plants at? Somebody actually knows how to do some plant life in the ground. Got my brother over there speaking, you know what I'm saying? It make you to a point where you be like, all right, now we know what time it is. Because, in August, we know that this is the ending of the watermelon season. Even though we got the watermelons doing what they doing. Thank you for the watermelons. We give thanks, y'all. The watermelons are great. But, now pumpkin coming up. So you're like, oh, that's how it happens. So is it that we're in tune with it? And when you find out pumpkin, what do you use? Is it pumpkin seeds or you just making a jack-o'-lantern? It don't have to be just a jack-o'-lantern. Get more into it. Pumpkin is a great food too additive that you can put into your body. It helps out just because of the color itself. You can see that it's a part of the second chakra. So when we're dealing with color, there's an ability that we're learning from, just like the watermelon. The watermelon being that it had red, yellow, and green is one of those connections. You say, why did I say yellow? Because that's the seed before it got to end up being black. So Well, it's lovely to find out you can have food in the ground, come out the ground, and now to eat it is helpful, you know. And it's not everywhere you're gonna get it from. So the imagination of certain people out here in your neighborhoods or what I said community, start talking to them on a collective. You know, for me, I'm a being that likes to play an instrument, so it kind of helps it more to get to be in that. Hey, what can we, exchange in ourselves to learn more of each other? If it is about, let me throw some sounds to the elements that's in the ground, because I might not know how to put seeds back into it. At least I have sounds for it, that when we actually get seeds from each other, we can still do these things for each other. And you're like, all right, well, I got the music, you got seeds, and you know how to throw the out. Let's make it a nation. We're doing collective right now as we're speaking right now. So this makes it more of a purpose of saying why you want to have a new way of new eating. Some, but it's really natural. You've been doing natural, and even for myself since 16, blood pressure can be a reason to say I got to change up. Seeing my father, seeing my mother, that are still, as you would see, they're your collectives. And to get better at it, we got to start doing it. We got to start looking at what's the foods that we can change up from. I don't eat canned food no more. Threw that away. Thank goodness for that. And we were just having a conversation, so it was ironic about how we were eating ration food a lot, and it was really high in sodium, and it was the only thing we knew at the time, because my father, he was in the military. Uh, that was ration food. We were just identifying ration food on a constant. My mom, she did not know how to cook, so her idea of cooking was really warming up food. And I know there's our brothers and sisters that's out there now. Y'all are all really going through it. I see you. Some of us use the microwave on a constant because we don't know how to cook. We warm it up, nuke it up. It made it, the science is easier and effective to give us radiation now. And yeah, now I see why we're running into depression a lot. We have to really identify for what it is, the eating, our eating habits. We could just slow it down more, modify on it more. Drink the sea moss at the beginning of the state. Like I said, take some salt water instead of just water. Put a little bit of salt in it. The pink Himalayan, you got Celtic salt, which is a pure salt that you're getting if you use that one. So now your hunger is not as bad as you think it is. You really want to eat, right? Not knowing why you want to eat though. That's where we be like, dang, this ain't got me out of control of wanting to eat. Dang. So it's like feeding parasites, man. We like basically feeding our parasites. So that's why my brother is deep on this about detoxing. You find the best thing to use right now is diatomaceous clay, right? Diatomaceous clay, for those really feeling I can't do it anymore. Certain things got me so depressed, or even if I got into a sickness, this sucker right here is another name for it is Aztec clay, but it's a pure knockout for the eggs. Because we might have ate and then realized we got parasites. Parasites now become eggs, and now the eggs are taking over your body. And so when we're looking into the infestation, is what we call leaky gut. Those who are not known about the experiment, it's 1949. They experimented on what we call the leaky gut. When it was experienced, it was supposed to learn how processed foods are mainly destroying us, and it's centralized in our areas. We're centralized in our areas, so we're not knowing what areas we're in. And you say, in our areas, whose areas? Well, you got a zip code on you. Every time you put that letter in the mail, it's a zip code to it. This is where I was like, I was getting confused myself. I said, how are they really tricking us? Because it's only because we keep not knowing. Well, you put a zero with your one, or you just put one by itself. When you go down in the address, right? There's no other zero. There's no zero next. Let's say I'm looking at this number right now. It says 3508. There's no zero next to the when it started. So this is already an artificial in the mind, and we've played this game. That's why you're like, oh, I ain't even know we're doing something that's different. You are doing something that's the same that everybody else is doing. We just didn't see what we should see that's different. Where's your zero at? Why is your zero missing? Everybody gotta have a zero. You're not connected. Who are you connected to? You connected to disconnection? This is what we're doing? We're playing disconnection all day, every day. This is some weird stuff people play. You know what I'm saying? Weird, definitely. So it's about that learning how your zero, your origin, your food, your, how you recharge yourself, recharge your life in. You rechargeable. So when you're able to recharge yourself, go into your chi. Chi is a good breath. We say chi. I ain't gonna go too long with it, but just give you enough right there. I ain't gonna go. My ancestors be like, don't get them too much. Don't get them. That's another. Whenever you use any of your meditation, it enhances your strength. We haven't enhanced our strength long enough. And because some of us think that we're like not impaired, yeah, the word is impaired, that we can't utilize it. This is why we feel cut off or shortened. Your energy is you. That's why the breath of food is also you. You don't have to eat as much. Sometimes you might have to just chill and be you for a second. Breathe off of that. Holy, this sunlight gives you more of a oxygen than you ever know. The energy from it, though, what do you utilize while you're getting hit by it? You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to find out. Make it like a person that's person. You know where I'm going. Get into the copper. There's copper in your mushroom. Find out how to utilize it. It's definitely helpful. And if you don't see, then depression. A lot of us are just by not seeing it. Hey, look, I got bumped in the head, and I woke up and I said, wait a minute, what am I? Oh, Mario and the what is that about? The green and the red. Red is your blood, chlorophyll, how you get back to it. So through pipes, through that, we even call it. But there's this cannabinoid tapping into that helps that perception. Some of us are not enhanced the way we would think we were. And because we're not seeing that, this is like another program. Another program set up to the side while we just stiff dancing. You couldn't do the actual glide part. And I was like, where did that glide part come from? Okay, I see it now. Your concentration might have been just a tad bit off. It's called enhancement. So I give thanks to the side too, because that's another level of what most people are able to enhance themselves from. And then when they're finally able to, you're seeing it. It makes sense. This is why you have. This is why we can't get past it. What is the certain things? Certain things. It's constantly certain things. It's your curtain. You're open and closed by it on a constant. And if you can't see it, that's why you call it certain. See, we're searching for ourselves, masculine and feminine, only to eat. Is really saying I'm depressed by eating, so I'm repeating. Learn to master yourself. Be disciplined. Realize that 7-Eleven, because it's open for 24 hours, don't mean you gotta go to Wawa. Oh, you done turned it upside down. That's mama. Come on, I'm not dumb. I see y'all. This is why they gave you this Starbucks, so that you would go drink more of their stuff. When it's really mommy watching, mother of water. She's hurt too. I've seen her. The eyebrows, the eyelashes, even the breasts. We're not into that like you think. Stay natural, sister. We love you because you're natural, not because you're doing ill natural things. See, the word norm was put in front of us. So we've been thinking this is the word we're supposed to exist off of. Like eat normal foods, be in a normal lifestyle, do stuff like the normal people do, when that ain't even normal. You don't realize it. Some of it's just having you in a time span. You haven't seen your time span of yourself yet. That's why we're reflecting now. It's called reflection. You need a higher reflection of yourself. Intellect yourself on a higher grace. It's called G with race and energy. See, so when you're in a grace of your energy, left and right, as these birds fly over my head, they give us energy. They know too. We're in tune with nature. We don't have to eat the rabbit. You gotta eat the chicken. If you're eating all this chicken, why are you not eating any rooster? Let's talk about it. You're eating all this cow, why are you not eating any bull? Huh? That's all I'm saying. I know you can eat fish. They got fish that's red and blue. That's how you find out masculine and feminine. I know you can eat crabs the same way. The same red or blue. But since we know that they're separated, why we eat more of the one thing and not the other? If that's how we're supposed to balance each other. I end up leaving. We're here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, how are we supposed to be balancing each other if we're just caught up in just the red versus blue or the blue versus red? We gotta know what the blue and the red is helping us out doing. Don't look at it as it's separated. Put it together. Interact each other. You know? Yes, you're spiritual. I might be physical for your spiritual. Let's work. Let's see what we can work with together on that level. You don't. It's that simple. If you want to make it masculine and feminine, all right, cool. However, we don't really have to even do it that way. You know what I'm saying? There is a good and a bad in everything. Find your balance is what I'm saying. We all got to have a balance to something. You're stepping into something. As you step into it, you also got to know how to step out of it. Be at the best of if you fall, right? Best of how you fall. Looking at everybody else. So this is what we call health. Health is you learning your characteristics. What is your characteristics? Maybe you didn't know that you had to eat slower than other people. Because see, they might have put you on a 30-minute scale and they say, you got to eat. Hurry up, 15 minutes. You almost done. Oh, you ain't done yet. You slow. And now, my body digests differently than yours. Wants me to do what he wants me to do. And I can go back to where I just came from. You wouldn't even know I'm going to do that. Because we don't know how our reactions are of another. You don't want to always predict you know that person. Let them have enough to where they could be unpredictable and you still all right with what you doing. It's just a perception. Our food, we can think now better. So if you're in an urgency, you stop and you want immediate, you know, you've been eating fire foods. So let's slow that down. Get you some water foods. Calm that down a little bit. Or you might need air because you don't need to be too sluggish. You might need some fire. You get that little fire up. Let's get some air in. Let's balance it though. You know what I'm saying? We have fire foods. We got air foods. We got earth foods. We got water foods. Those are just looking it up. Elements, just like we know, is elements that's been told to us since elementary school. We just didn't put it together like this. Solid, liquid, and gas. Yes, you're eating solid, liquid, and gas foods. And to learn our solids, when we break down food, it's solidified. And then when we liquidate it, it goes to the stomach, our chamber, and the lymphatic now shows us emotion through whatever colors of this prism. You know, we got prisms of colors. So it could be from the carrots that you love, your carrot energy, your confidence. From your yellow, your squash, love it because it's now giving you your radiance. And now you're able to move on top of that with intuitive energy. Huh? And then of course it could be your from avocado or kale that you break down with your avocado. That you can make that a blend for you. Just give it some zest to it, you know. This is really you interacting with food. Your whole interaction with food should be at its best. You know what I'm saying? Make it a point where you be like, man, I can't wait to eat. like, oh, why that took this long to eat? No, that's what I'm saying. You are your best, right? When you find out how you're doing what you're doing. And once you do it, get better. Don't just make it at that point. Make it. Now, it's a point where I think it was introduced to me the wrong way. So if it's chopped up real thin, notice you eating it. So if you had it to a point where you had cabbage, like I was eating, and I said, I ain't really like that. But now I had it shredded, I could eat it. I'm actually seeing the difference of when someone might love their food and want to give it back to me. It wasn't just like a whole leafy, here, take it. How many times we had some cabbage in there, it was in the pot. I'm like, man, that. So now we got not only cabbage, the collard greens, you know. Collard greens was a green leafy one. You can add collard greens and make that now roll, you know, put your food in that and eat out of that as the roll for you. I just had some, was it vegan cartel? That's out across the water. It's on, was it Nat Turner Boulevard? Nat Turner and William Stryden or William somebody. Anyway, it's down there in Portsmouth. You can have that. They've got a raw burrito with the collard green leaf. So I'm talking about this is where it's real at, man. You can eat some real raw food, and now you know how you're eating better for yourself. You ain't gotta always eat cooked foods. I've been eating cooked foods all our life, and even then, was it cooked or was it just because it was like warming it up because it wasn't really cooked at all? I got in trouble for that one. That's why I had to laugh at that. My mom actually smacked me in the back of the head. I was like, Mom, you ain't cooked that. You warmed it up. We didn't think about these things when we were giving it to our children because she was like, eat, you better eat this because I cooked it. I eat it because you cooked it up. There ain't no cooking at all. So, gotta have some love in your food. Please put some love into your food. You know what I mean? My sisters, thank y'all for being around to letting us know about this. Because even for my mom, she's like, I ain't have any other sisters around like that. They were running out the door. So, of course, because mom here stuck with the other floor. The other floor, what we call love. You gotta love the food, love what you're doing, love it this heat that you like right now, because it's a part of you. It's when I talk about heat, find out the heat. It's not the foods you want to be eating while you're in the heat. Look at watermelon. Since the watermelon on mine, we got cantaloupe, honeydew. The melons, there is the green melon. That's about it right now as far as the melons. Anything good. Keep on your strawberries. I got my strawberries, just throwing it up in there. And the blueberries, that's another one. So just keep yourself stimulated, you know. Sea moss it. If you got any sea moss, keep that up. Black seed oil, it's a major thing. Ginger, you can use that on an everyday cleansing. Um, Cilantro is definitely for everyday cleansing. And it's vitamin as well. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking about this pyramid joint. But I just love how it goes up and back down, and once it hits to the middle is the playground of DNA, RNA foods. That's why it's a wide variety of what you do from can you detox? After you detox, what do you do from there? My regimen would be I drink my cleansing water from the beginning of the day to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm hungry or whatnot. I give myself some sea moss, some sprouts. You got alfalfa sprouts. You can use that as well. And then once you're really ready to eat, from that I make a smoothie. So I'm really not really hungry once I hit that smoothie game. Then might be a salad. You really don't have to have but so much in your body, you know. Dates are good for fiber. If you need any fiber, make sure you are fiber connected. You want the body to still the flow. So if it's not, you know, using it on a regular, that's something you do got to pay attention to. Are you like 2 times a day, 3 times a day? What are you? You know, really study that. Me, I'm more like a 2, sometimes 3 times if I didn't have some extra food. Like, what am I doing eating? But I'm a cycle that changes for the moon and the sun. So for those who are in the sun and the moon variations, that is another way of eating too, as well. Because I know I might be just jumping all around the board for y'all, but you got the waning and the waxing moon effect. Comes to that, some of us eat more because of the waxing, you're filling up, and then you eat less on the waning because you're releasing. If you do opposite, you're gonna get sick. You'll find out. The body does not like what you're doing. And after a while, it's going to tell on you. That's what we're learning now. This is what we call diseases. Diseases are parasites, right? Yeah. So, yeah, enough said on the pyramid. Stay focused, bro. Sisters, stay focused. I mean, you got a powerful gym you living in, so you know how to discipline it. You get the best thing come out of it, for real. And right now I get to experience the insects learning me differently because I'm treating them different too now on the consciousness. So that's a whole other level. Everybody ain't ready for all this stuff. But it's coming though. It's coming. We into the Buddha spirit. Those who not knowing nature, how much nature's there has always been a fulfillment. It's been wanting to be your totems. So the more you experience the totems that's around you, like the bird to the, I know we said it might be artificial, the rabbit to all the things are out here. They experience with other people. So I mean, the bees. I had a sister walk in the room. My dad right now in the hospital, so that's why I'm all over the place. But my dad's in the hospital right now, and it's ironic that when my uncle passed away, a bee came to me and was like, it was a replacement. You know what I'm saying? So I've always been on this bee thing. So here is she walks in the room. She just all she doing. She ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Just cleaning up the room. I said, wow, look at her, a bee worker. She walked right on in with the bee on her head. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, you a bee in. She started laughing and a smile on her face. Cause we're there. We're like the hard workers in the room. We might not see how much work we be doing. You know what I mean? Like 24 hours even. And still give out more. So it just gave honest to knowing that even in the totems, there are totems around you, amongst you, that's gonna remind you, keep doing what you doing. You know what I mean? Ancestors are there with you. They know. They see you walking your walk. You might think you walking it by yourself. You ain't. They walking with you. You know what I'm saying? They walking with you. Sometimes they take on the burden more than you do, not realizing it. You might have just been saying something and you was upset. Out. That bird went right off in a dart and just go, you know, I mean, run into a car actually and become a car accident. Sacrificing, offering. What is honoring? You gotta honor this stuff. Somebody asked me why am I actually playing my flute? Because I honor that. So I honor the fact that I eat and give back to nature at the same time. I honor the fact that I wash my clothes and I'm not using too much to wash my clothes. Shoot, I'm not even wearing too much of the clothes. Try to wear as less clothes as possible until it's that time to wash. You know, it's all down to how much are you really being mindful. You know, you gotta be mindful. Only way you're gonna get through this. Everyone got now more devoted in their energy. You know what I'm saying? Each other. That's time. You devoted to it. If not, you ain't got no devotion that you really saying you into. You like paying attention to commercials more than anything. You know what I mean? And you could be really into yourself, getting yourself up. This is what we call an energy. It took people to be out of track in order to know what in track is. So now we finally in track to see ourselves. Now we don't even know how to attract in the track now, finally. Wow. So that's a dimension. You and us, we're finally in a dimension where we can put everything in a collective and work on it better. That's a platform. You're able to do that. I mean, that's why we interact like we are now. You're able to build that up now. Invisible thoughts that didn't have really your telepathy, your telepathic and interact like that versus just, hey, how you doing? Shake a person's hand. You don't even know this person. You don't even know how to shake a person's hand. You do your fist pump. You know what I mean? It's a whole other world that we live with our language. I had to learn my father's language. This is what goes back. I had to learn my father's language all over again. He don't speak like everybody else. So when someone comes to me and they say, yo, your language is different. Well, I come from a father and a mother that got a different language. You do too. You're just not attracted to it yet. You will be soon. You know what I mean? That's how I became eternal. I don't know how everybody's gonna turn out. 'Cause even then, it's Buddha nature. You got a squirrel over here walking around, checking me out at the same time. You notice that they knock the nuts down on the ground and they might even chew some of it. No, yeah, so they like do more littering than you do. Yet we got to be attracted to these squirrels to know that they're guardians of the earth. I push them out the way. I ain't got to stay right here because they actually put more nuts in the ground so the trees can be up so that we have shade and so we can breathe in the nature. That's some deep, you know what I mean? Like, we really not in tune with nature. If we really could be, we should be. Now we're into honoring, not sacrifice. I hear people when they say that I sacrifice my time. Really? Will you honor though? Be an honor to be around you. You know what I'm saying? You're present. You're the best gift ever I seen. So I'm gonna present myself just as much because you right here next to me. You know what I mean? I give thanks to y'all. All right, and I said that as if I'm coming out. So I'm gonna play a little tune and then I'm tuning myself out. If you want to see me, check me out. I'm also on TikTok. That's Eternal, ETURNAL. That's ELBEY. I'm seeing this girl mess with his tail. That's deep. Eternal L Bear. I'm also known as Buddha E on the entertainment world because I had to bring my Buddha side, the experiment of that 360 becoming a 480 conical sign. I thank y'all for having me. All right. Check me out on YouTube. Respect. Peace. Wholeness. Balance. Keep it together, y'all. We got this. Come on. Shay, I say you.